Welcome back. As 2025 comes to a close, we're taking a look back at some of the highs and the lows of the year. Right now, I'm joined in studio by producers of the Daily Roundup, that is Urizirira Mureti and also Rochelle Narimas, to basically talk to us as to how the year was for them and what they are looking forward to for next year. Ladies, good evening.
Good evening, Ndapewa.
So in sync, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Amazing. Now, for our viewers, they only get to see the faces, in front of the Daily Roundup. You have Nina herself, Nina Katangana, you have Johnny Konja, Selima Henok, and also me now for the festive season. But these are the people who produce the show, who bring the content to us. Now, ladies, talk to us, the year 2025. When you think back and you just, look at it, 365 days later, what is the first thing that comes to mind for the year? Uri, let's start with you.
Well, this year, I would say the key word for me this year was growth. Because now in my career-wise, I came from doing digital news to becoming a producer of the Daily Roundup with Nina. And it was a change, a shift, which I really loved. And I was really welcomed by our supervisor, the best, Miss Janet Haipare. She was really supportive, and as well as Nina, she was teaching me a lot as well during the year. So
and
I
you
feel
just started
like
this year, right?
And I just started this year. I think I started 6 months ago.
Feels like you've been on for such a long time.
Thank you. So it's been a good year. It's been a year of growth, mentally. I also gave birth recently, so also physically, growth was in every aspect of my life. So that is my year in a nutshell. I grew.
Amazing. And for you, Rochelle?
Thank you, Ndapewa. So for me, I would say my year would be categorized as a year of resilience, a year of growth as well, because in this year, I was placed in so many roles that I've never all at once taken up in my life before. And I can proudly say I stood fully in those roles, in all of those roles. I stood in the role of a mom, the role of a wife. I was a student as well, and then towards the end of the year, I also started working as a producer for the Daily Roundup. So all these roles all at once.
News anchor.
Oh yes, that. Oh yes, that. So yes, I was a news anchor as well. So all these roles at once for me in this year. If someone had told me in the beginning of the year that I would have to be in all these roles in this year alone, I wouldn't have believed them, because I would think that I won't be able to do it. But looking back at the year and seeing how well I've done, I'm proud of myself. So that is my year for me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I feel like we're coming to the end of the interview.
No, we need to hear what for you, your year.
My year, I feel like my year has been the same as last year. I'm not going to lie, it's been stagnant, but the growth is also there, from what Uri is saying. Because something about the NBC, each and every year we're just getting bigger and better. And this year has been challenging, for so many of us. We started off the year on such a sad note when we lost the founding president, Dr. Sam Nujoma. That basically challenged us. But I think we were more prepared as the broadcaster, because I think we've gone through a similar situation with the passing of the first sitting president, that is President Hage Geingob. But, throughout the year, I feel like it has been the same, but more challenging, but we've been prepared and we're prepared. And, here we are doing the things that needs to be done.
Yay.
All right. So was there ever a day where you guys came to studio and you're just like, I'm never forgetting this day ever again? I mean,
Rochelle, when she started.
Okay. That was actually better. When I started, it was so much better. There was a day where I actually had to read, because I'm a presenter for Afrikaans Indigenous News as well. So I had to read the news in Afrikaans, or present the news in Afrikaans rather. And there were so many numbers.
In Afrikaans.
In Afrikaans, and I do not know how I made it through that script or that bulletin, but I could hear people in my ear. They kept laughing. The more I said the numbers, the more people were laughing, and now I have to, keep my posture. I can't also laugh with them, even though I know that what I'm doing here. So when I got off there, I was like, finally this is over. And I prayed that I prayed that it didn't get uploaded because otherwise there would have been a meme.
Are we going back to Afrikaans classes, but for numbers?
Yes, for numbers, definitely.
Yeah.
For numbers, definitely.
And for you, Uri?
I think mine was more my first week, because I'm a person who, okay, this and this and this has to happen. But with production, I was taught, okay, you know what? Think on your feet when that happens. And it was my first week, and I think it was a good few days. And then one day there was just like people started canceling and you didn't know what to do. But then again, with the help of the people who are at the back, behind the scenes, the directors, they were like, chill. These things happen on live television. So you just have to think on your feet. And as well, and something that Ms. Hayapare also told me, that you have to do what you can. But then if the person cancels, think on your feet as well. But if it doesn't work out, it's live television. So I think that was that first week of producing the Daily Roundup with Nina, I will not forget.
It happens to the best of us. I used to be a Daily Roundup producer myself. You would get a guest who will cancel on you 5 minutes to going on air. Then you have to call up, one of your friends in the ministries. Any initiatives that you guys are working on that you guys can perhaps come through, talk to us about. But ladies, one thing I've noticed is we all face challenges. Apart from also guests not coming through, there's always, they always feel as if not, we can end the show early. But what are some of the challenges that you face throughout the day? It doesn't have to be production, but just, with regards to, the life we live, generally, throughout the year, so many people have faced so many challenges to the point where suicide cases, increased, throughout. And when one case happens, it becomes...
It's like a rapid domino effect.
Exactly. It becomes like a domino effect where it just happens, over and over and over again, for that specific month or for that period in time. But what are some of the challenges that you faced and how did you guys overcome them?
Okay, well, like I said, I recently gave birth. So I think a challenge that came for me this year was being a mom of 3 now. So 2 toddlers and a baby, and also having to work, and also being a wife, a friend, a daughter, a sister. I think I wanted to give myself to each and every one, which made me feel so... I felt like either an absent friend or an absent mom or an absent employee, because I felt like I wasn't giving my all in all these roles. But as the year progressed, I think I gave myself some grace. As I can't do everything, and I'm glad that I have a community and a department that really looks out for each other.
The best department.
The online department at NBC. If one falls, we carry each other, and I love that about our department. So I in terms of work, I really didn't feel too overwhelmed because I had help, I had great support. And in terms of being at home, I had a person who would help me really well, and my husband, who's also very hands-on. So in as much as I was beating myself up, I took a moment and paused, and actually I thanked God for the community that he gave me, because the community really, it helped a big role for me this year. If I didn't have the people that I had in my life, I think I would have crumbled, because I didn't feel alone. And I think that's why a lot of people also, that's why suicide, I think, is also so high, because people feel alone.
Yeah, they don't have people.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that I have a community. I have friends who are understanding. They don't need me every time. A text to check up on you. Are you good? That is enough. So I really loved that this year. And that was the challenge with me this year. I could say it's myself. I was beating myself up. So the challenge was me. So I had to fix me.
Rochelle?
All right. Okay, so the challenge that I faced during this year was that I actually had to go through grief. Like I had to grieve throughout the entire year. And firstly, I would just really like to thank myself a lot for not giving up on myself, because there were times where the grief, it comes in waves. So one time you're okay, and then the next it just comes like bombarding you. So there were those times, a lot of them, and I had the courage to actually go through it, to actually pull through. I would agree with Uri, where she said that a community is very important, because I also had that community, through my grieving process, and through all these roles that I just mentioned earlier. I had to step into these roles also while going through this grief as well. And it was really hard, but the community that I had, my husband, for instance, that...
Shout out to the community.
Yes.
All right. But let's take a look at the show, the segments that are on the show.
Yes.
There's a new segment that was brought up this time around. It's called Hot Topics. What are some of these hot topics that we talk about, Uri? Why did you see a need to bring up a Hot Topics segment?
Since I was new, I was like, okay, what can I contribute to the show?
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, no, we could have a discussion called Hot Topics. But then when I thought about it, I thought that Nina could have a discussion with somebody on the matter. And then she was like, no, why don't we do it as producers of Daily Roundup with Nina? So she was like, no, each Friday, the presenter and the producer will come up with a topic for that Friday, and we'll sit down and talk like we are. Just, it's our opinions. There's nothing, it's not NBC or anything, it's our opinion. So we've had topics as housing, the lady who lost her life looking for rent. We've had suicide, we've had road safety, that Namibian roads are great, but the drivers are the problem.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a few good topics. We also had Miss Gelda. These are my private parts. So that one was really popular. Yeah, so the hot topics, it's growing, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One guest that stood out for you that you brought on the show this year? A name and a topic.
Wow. That is... Okay, I think what I liked, it was recently when Human Rights Day, when we had Norman Shombe. I loved how he incorporated human rights with also, since it was also Namibian Women's Day, he incorporated all of that in the interview. It was a really informative interview, and he broadened our minds and thinking as well to that. So I really enjoyed that interview.
Yeah, Rochelle.
Yeah.
You gave us a Dora the other day.
Oh, Adora. Such a lively interview that she gave us, and very informative as well. I am, in as much as I am very young, I love oldies. I love olden days gems. So I've been wanting to attend this event. And so when I had her on the show, she actually told us the idea behind the event and so on, and I decided I'm going.
Yeah, it's not only about having fun, but also about giving back.
Yes.
Yes. So what can we look forward to next year, ladies? Next year is just a couple of hours away. What can we look forward to when it comes to the Daily Roundup?
Bigger and better.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
We should be cooking up things. You should be glued to your screen.
Yes.
We're coming back with more topics, more conversations, and also engaging the public like we do every Friday with our polls. So yes, we should expect a daily roundup that is bigger and better.
Yes.
Now, since we are coming to the end of the show, so we get to close off together. I guess I do my closing, and then you guys can
We'll
take
just say
over.
Happy New Year.
All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the last edition of the year 2025's episode of the Daily Roundup. We will be back again tomorrow at the hour of 6. So do not forget to set a date with us. From us, it has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. We do thank our newsmakers for making this possible, because we are all about entertaining, educating, and also informing you, but only when you bring us the information. So from myself, Ndapewa Ambambi.
From me, Rochelle Narimas.
And me, Urizirira Mureti.
Happy New Year. And bye.
Good night.
Sticks up.
Major.
Three ne barcode. Three no barcode. Pakase duran ngaminga. Netseske netsesa. Ngakufan. Fun. No kufan. I ne barcode. Ngakufan. Fun. No kufan. I ne barcode. Saduge geise. Pakase ran ngaminga. Ne barcode. Saduge geise. Pakase ran ngaminga. Ne barcode. Gore ne durati. Khuna pakase dugera gongo. Gore ne durati. Khuna pakase dugera gongo. Ngaminga. Mire do dingorero,